How much money do you really need to retire? You probably have no idea, and that's not your fault. This video is not about theories or fluff. It's about 5 very specific questions, and if you can answer them honestly, you're already way ahead of most people who are still stuck in the someday loop. Each question unlocks a piece of your retirement puzzle, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how close you are to freedom. Let's be real. Retirement used to be this thing people planned for their 60s. You work 40 years, get a pension, then sit on a beach or something. But now, that's not how it works anymore. Pensions are basically extinct. The market's a roller coaster, and inflation keeps punching holes in your savings. So instead of waiting for some financial fairy tale to come true, let's break it down. Here are 5 questions that tell you exactly how close you are to retirement, not the fantasy version. Question 1. Do you know your enough number? Let me ask you this. How much is enough for you to live the life you want without having to work another day in your life? Most people have no idea. They throw out numbers like $1 million or $5 million because that's what they heard on the news or seen online. But here's the truth. Retirement isn't about hitting a magical number. It's about having enough to cover your lifestyle, not someone else's. Here's a quick example. Let's say you spend $4,000 a month to live comfortably. That's $48,000 a year. If you follow the 4% rule, which says that you can safely withdraw 4% of your investments per year, you'd need $1.2 million to retire. But if you live on, say, $2,500 a month, you only need $750,000. So yeah, your lifestyle determines your number. And if you don't know your number, you're playing darts blindfolded. So, first question. Do you actually know your enough number? If the answer is yes, great, you're way ahead of the game. If not, it's time to do some math and find your monthly burn rate. Question number 2. Do you know where your money goes every month? This one seems obvious, but it's where most people trip. You can't retire if you're bleeding money every month and don't even realize it. Try this. Pull up your bank statement from last month. Look at every single expense. I guarantee you'll find stuff that you forgot about. Subscriptions that you don't use. Food delivery charges that sneak up on you. Amazon orders that felt small at the time. Here's a crazy stat. The average American spends over $314 a month on impulse buys. That's almost $4,000 a year. That could be an extra month of retirement right there. Knowing where your money goes is like turning the lights on in a dark room. You stop bumping into stuff and you start seeing clearly. So, do you track your spending? Not just once in a while, but every month? If yes, you're ahead. If not, you could be leaking thousands a year without even knowing it. Question 3. Are you debt-free or on track to be? Let's talk about debt, because it's the silent killer of retirement dreams. Credit card debt, car loans, personal loans, even student loans if they're still hanging around. These things drag your finances down like an anchor. Think about it like this. If you're paying 20% interest on a credit card, but your retirement account is making 7% a year, you're literally going backward. Now, not all debt is created equal. A mortgage at a low fixed rate, that's not the same as high interest consumer debt. But the key question is, are you aggressively eliminating the bad debt? If you've got a plan to be debt-free before or during retirement, or better yet, you're already there, that's a massive step toward freedom. So, third question, is debt weighing you down or are you in control of it? Be brutally honest. This one makes or breaks retirement timelines. Question 4, can your investments support your lifestyle? This is where the rubber meets the road. Your investments are what give you the option to stop working. But here's the deal. Most people don't really know what their investments are doing. They've got a 401k, maybe an IRA, a couple of ETFs, but they couldn't tell you what their portfolio earned last year or how much it would pay them in retirement. Let's break it down. If your portfolio is worth $500,000 and it's growing at 7% per year, that's $35,000 annually without touching the principal. That's a decent income in retirement. But if you need $70,000 a year to live on, then either you need more invested or you need to lower your lifestyle. Another thing, Are you diversified? Are you investing in things that match your risk tolerance and timeline? The market goes up and down, but your plan should stay solid. So, fourth question, can your investments actually support your lifestyle? Today, not someday. If you run the numbers and it works, you're getting close to retirement, whether you realize it or not. Question number 5. What would you do if you stopped working tomorrow? Here's the wild card. Because even if you've got the money figured out, if you don't know what you do with your time, you're not ready. Retirement isn't just about not working. It's about replacing the purpose and structure work gave you. Ask an early retiree and they'll tell you, the first few months feel amazing. Sleeping in, no emails, no meetings. But then, boredom kicks in. You start wondering, what now? If you don't have a vision for your life after work, whether it's travel, hobbies, volunteering, starting a small business, retirement might feel more like a void than a victory. So this last question is the most emotional one. What would your days actually look like if you never had to work again? If you can answer that with excitement and clarity, then you're way closer to retirement than you think. Now let's pause here, because most people never answer even one of these questions. They just save blindly, hoping it'll all work out. That's not a plan. That's wishful thinking. If you're here watching this and you're actually thinking about these 5 questions, you're not like most people. You're thinking differently. You're planning smart. And now, let me show you where most people run into trouble. They ignore the first question and chase a random net worth target that they saw on TikTok. And they think budgeting is optional. They stay in debt because it's normal. They invest blindly in mutual funds without checking performance. And they never plan for what life looks like after retirement. Sound familiar? That's the trap. And the system is built to keep you in that loop. Work more, spend more, repeat. If you break out of that loop, if you face these 5 questions and really work through them, you unlock something powerful, clarity. And with clarity comes control. You stop waiting for the perfect amount of money to retire. You realize, wait, I actually don't need as much as I thought. You stop feeling behind and start feeling in charge. That's the turning point. That's where everything starts to shift. Let me tell you about Mike. Mike was 52, worked in sales for 30 years, made decent money but never felt rich. He always thought retirement was for people with $2 million in the bank, and he had about half of that. But one day, he sat down and answered these exact 5 questions. He figured out that he only needed $42,000 a year to live. He cut out useless spending. He realized his investments were actually earning more than he thought. He cleared his last debt, a car loan. He made a list of all the stuff that he wanted to do once he had time. Guess what? He left his job at 54. He didn't fully retire. He just shifted into part-time consulting on his own terms. Now he spends 6 months a year traveling with his wife. No alarm clocks, no meetings, just freedom. That's not a fantasy. That's someone who answered the 5 questions and made a plan. You can do the same, but only if you stop guessing and start getting specific. So here's what I want you to do after this video. Don't just think about the questions, write them down. Answer them like your future depends on it, because it kind of does. How much is enough for you? Where does your money actually go? Are you crushing your debt or is it crushing you? Can your investments support your lifestyle now, not in theory? And finally, what's your life look like when you wake up with no job and 100% freedom? Answer those 5 and you'll know exactly how close you are. And you might be way closer than you think. My name is Stephen Kofer. Thanks for stopping by. This channel is for anyone ready to take ownership of their future. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need the willingness to start. And I'm here to walk with you every step of the way. Watch this next video where I'll help you determine if everything you think you know about retirement is wrong.